times longer. So what we're going to do is we are going to tile this. And tiling is basically just repeating an image side by side, top to bottom, to create a pattern. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you how to check to see if this is a good pattern or not. And the easiest way to do that is do save for web. I'm going to set this, let's see here, I'll make it JPEG. Well, we're going to be using it for a game. Sorry, I had a web flash back there. I'm going to make it, well, actually right now I'm just testing it, so I'm just going to leave it as a JPEG at 100 quality. I'm not going to save it as a JPEG anyhow. But what I want to do is I want to go up to here, my Optimize menu, and I want to do Edit Output Settings. And I want to set it as background. Set the preset to background and make sure that background is set in the background dialog section of the box, or section of the dialog box. Hit OK, and then I'm going to do preview. And now you can see that this image does not tile at all. There is much hideousness going around here. You can tell that here's the image, and it goes over to here, and then it stops right there. See how that stops right there? You can tell there's the seam on the sides, and you can obviously see, even more obviously, there's the seam at the bottom. That will not do. That is not a seamless image. Totally not good there. No, bad. Just, yeah, bad. That's wrong bad. That's yeah. Okay, so anyhow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and close this, and I'm not going to save this. I was just bringing that up to see how it would tile, and it is a total fail at tiling. So I'm just going to hit cancel here. How do we fix that? Well, there's several different, well, actually there's one main way. Let's just talk about that first. I'm going to save this right now. And by the way, I was working on a spaceship 3D asset, and I forgot to save, and I lost about, oh, I don't know. Well, however, it wasn't an hour, it wasn't even a half an hour, but it was storming, and you can guess what happened. So basically, you save every 10 seconds, or I'm to the point now where every time I do something, if I like it, I save it. It's kind of a nervous habit that annoys coworkers, but anyhow. So I've saved that. I'm going to, here is, and it's storming again. This is great. So I better hurry this up. So there is the shadow grass, and here's the highlight, which I misspelled. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to save it real quick. I'm going to merge these two layers. So now we're just going to call it blades. All right. And again, nothing's changed in terms of pixels. It still looks the same, so it's still going to tile the same, which is still not good. But what I'm going to do is, remember, in my image size, multiples of 2, this is another advantage. Here comes another advantage to multiples of 2. 512. 512 pixels across, 512 pixels down. Easy to remember. Half of 512 is 256. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Filter, Other, and Offset. And I'm going to do half in both directions. Actually, I forgot a step. Okay, I'm a schmuck. All right, I'm going to duplicate this first. And I'm trying to go too fast before I lose something else. I'm going to just grab the blades layer, drag it down, not to the trash can, but to the little post-it note looking thing, and now I've got a copy of it. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Filter, Other, Offset, do it, come on. And I'm going to set both values to 256. And you're thinking, wow, Tim, that looks just as bad because now it's tiling in the image itself. And you're right, it really is. It's not cool. So as a matter of fact, we'll preview it. Yeah, the tiles are still there. But you know what? Here comes the payoff. As a jet flies low overhead, because my house is right on the flight path to the Lexington airport. So anyhow, enough of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my eraser tool, and Actually, I'm going to go to my brush settings again here. I'm going to turn this off. And I'm going to go to my brush setting and make sure I'm going to set the hardness down to 0%. I'm going to start erasing in the center here. See how that's getting rid of that seam? What I'm really going to do is I'm going to put my eraser tool all the way up to the very edge. I haven't clicked on it, the mouse yet. I'm going to hold the shift key down. Holding the shift key down, I'm going to drag across horizontally from right to left or left to right, depending on what you prefer, and go all the way over to here. Don't want to go past, you don't want to stop short, but there you have it. And then I'm going to do the same thing here at the bottom. And what you can do is, if you really want, you can turn layers behind off. And you got to be real careful with this. Go too far, it won't work. You don't go far enough, it won't work. All right, so now in theory, this should work. So I'm going to go save for weapon devices, go back to JPEG. I don't know why it keeps resetting. Okay, probably because I'm in a hurry. Hit preview again. Now, find the seams. I mean, yeah, you can see where some, yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, there's a little bit of a seam right there. And that's not cool. I'm going to have to fix that. But it looks a lot better, and someone is going to have to look really, really close in the game to find that seam. The seams should be impossible to find or almost impossible to find. So what I may do here is I may just build some terrain here and then show you what it's going to look like, what the terrain would look like with this as a texture. All right, but for right now, let's see if I can fix that thing right there, because I am kind of a perfectionist. That's what I'm getting paid to do, and that's the mark of a professional. Do the best job you can. But where is that seam? I'm going to make my eraser brush very small here. And I think I actually probably just made it worse. No, it's a little bit better. So yeah, at that point, I just start kind of fine-tuning things. And you're going to be doing it in the center, in the middle. So let's try this again. I hate the way this sets it to GIF. So yeah, that's much better. I've still got that one thing here. So that's going to be somewhere at the top or the bottom. So I'm just going to jump up here just a little bit. I think I probably did it too much there. So probably, yeah, see, I'm making it worse because I did it too much. So yeah, you just kind of got to fine tune it there a little bit. But I'm going to just quit out of that, stop that, and then I'm going to undo what I just did. I'm going to go back 3 steps in my history window, which is over here, because I never get tired of putting these numbers in the same thing over and over again. Yeah. So yeah, really from that right now, I would just continue fine tuning this. But this texture is going to be so small that someone is literally going to have to, in the game, they're going to have to stop whatever their character is doing and zoom in really, really close on the grass to find these slight artifacts. So yeah, I'll make some terrain here in just a second, and I'll show you the finished results. All right, thanks for watching. Oh, and before I forget, which I was about to, I am going to now save this, not as a JPEG or anything like that. I'm going to save it as a TGA file, target file. So I'm just going to do save as, and then I'm going to go down here. It's still in my 8-bit folder because I just forgot to make a new folder. I'm just going to make a TGA file. just hit save. 24 bits, everything is groovy. Let me open that up to show you. Okay, so there's my Targa file. Go ahead and close this. And you'll see that it has no layers or anything like that. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to pause this, and then I'm going to build some terrain and show you what it looks like when it's applied to some 3D terrain. So there you have it. Give me just a second. Okay, last thing I want to show you is I've applied this to a 3D surface here. And I'm going to wrap this up real quick because it's thundering and lightning like crazy outside, and I live in Masterson Station. We have enough problem with bad winds and losing power as it is. Anyhow, so this is what it looks like applied to a geometric flat plane, but it's not tiled. So you're thinking, well, that looks just, hideous. But if I set the game engine to repeat it and shrink it down, this is what tiling is, and you cannot see where that the edges are. Actually, you can. It's not really tiling, but it's just kind of a pattern that's forming. But you'll see this in games all the time. As a matter of fact, that's going to be probably part of your assignment, is to find some tiled images and find the seams in a game of your choice. Yeah, so that's the finished result. So now I have a grass texture that I could plop into a 3D game, or I could use it as a 2D asset, whichever. And the style doesn't matter, that's just Photoshop techniques, but the process of making an image that tiles so that you don't have to make one huge image, you can just make a smaller image and repeat it over and over and over again. That is tiling. And of course, like I said, yeah, there's a pattern right there, you can see it. But that's not a seam. A seam is a visible split. And you can't see that because, quite frankly, the texture's too small. And that's what happens in real life, in the real industry. Now, if I was in Unity and I just stopped and looked real close at the grass, I'd probably be able to see it, which is why it's a good idea to make sure it's 100% seamless. But for right now, I'm about to lose power probably, so I want to post this ASAP for your enjoyment. So thank you very much for watching.